Greetings from beautiful Lake Arrowhead. I'm just kidding. Beautiful Fire Island Pines, where I am on vacation, but because I'm dedicated to my craft, here's a free episode. Well, I guess they're all free. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm technically recapping episode 5 of season 2 of Workout. This episode, there's a lot of training the Skylab clients. They go on a field trip to Lake Arrowhead. A lot of tears about weight gain. Shocking, devastating surprises where people thought they had lost weight, but like Tess, oopsie, gained 15 pounds in a week. Of course, we're still following Jackie and Rebecca's burgeoning relationship. They do what every good lesbian does in their second week of dating. They go to a fondue night and put chocolate on their teeth and pretend like they're toothless, and then they make out. This is the first time we see Rebecca and Jackie making out in bed. And then Jesse confronts Rebecca at a restaurant, calls her a slut and a whore, and she throws water in his face. Speaking of Jesse, a look, Show Pony brought to you by C4 Energy. C4 Energy, the only drink that has ever made me diarrhea my pants at the gym. Speaking of Jesse, this is another special episode. I sat down with Jesse right before my vacation, and I didn't know what to really expect. But it was one of the best conversations I've ever had with someone. Very unexpected, very surprising, and very touching. Without further ado, I'm going to go skinny dipping. Enjoy Jesse's interview.
Okay.
But then we started working together, and then we hosted a radio show together.
Oh, so you're on the show with him?
Yeah, I'm his co-host in the morning.
Oh, great. Oh, very cool. How is he?
He's great.
Oh, good.
He's really good. He has 2 kids. You have kids.
Yeah.
How do you have kids? Your day.
Yeah, I know. This is a miracle. Tell him I said hi.
I will.
I got Andy really, really wasted once.
Okay, now say it into the mic.
That is it. Yeah, no.
You
that
got Andy
was one of
wasted.
my. That was really funny. So I'm not sure what you want out of this or what you need.
I'm going to
out
ask
of
you a
this.
bunch of questions.
Let's ask a bunch of questions.
It's very general.
Okay, great.
Because I never watched Workout.
Really?
No, this is it's not even a rewatch. It's just a straight up watch.
Like a first time
Yes.
watch.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So I'm like,
And what do you think?
I think a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
My thoughts are that Jackie is a great TV personality. She's
Wonderful TV personality.
amazing on TV.
Yep.
I think the fitness industry from back then they would make fun of people and like the way they would talk about their weight and say the word fat all the time. Like that's obviously changed for the better. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like I see a lot of progress since those days. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was some like real
literal fat shaming,
dark stuff. Well, the second season,
that's
I
where
went
I am.
in.
So I'm on episode 5 of
the second season.
Second season.
Okay, so that second season, right before we started filming, the producers, who, by the way, took really good care of me.
Yeah,
I felt like they were really had my back.
Good.
And they had my back in a few different ways, and I'll share all of those ways.
Okay.
But but we go in and they talk to me, like catching up on like life stuff, like what are we going to cover this season with me? And they're like, well, we need to address. This was like the day before filming. Like, well, we need to address the weight issue. And I was like,
what weight issue?
That's what I said. I was like, weight issue. And I was like, oh my God. What was funny was, I'm heavier now. I'm 45 now. Yeah, it was just a wacky thing. So,
well, and also maybe they thought they were trying to force you into a mold of like hot. You had to look a certain way for TV.
Well, there was that for sure. The body dysmorphia on that show was really fucked up.
You can tell.
But I think the body dysmorphia in the entertainment industry and in the fitness industry, I don't know, maybe it's changed. I'm not in it anymore.
Yeah.
But it was really intense. It was really intense. I can say now in retrospect that was like the outward manifestation of my inward condition, like all of my self-judgment, all my fear, all of the self-loathing, all of that.
Yeah.
Like I was watching it on TV, but the response was really messed up too. I got some, like, this was before you could really get access to people because
Right,
Instagram
no social
there was
media.
no social media. So I got a few people found me and emailed me and said, thank you for being like a, role model for gay men that, that we don't all have to be like these perfect, chiseled, whatever. But I also got like death threats.
Really?
I got
People are crazy.
It was insane. And I was like, this is literally my worst nightmare. And
Death threats because you're gay?
some of it.
Or because
sure.
they thought you were fat?
The fat. No, death threats from the fat. No, gay was
Are you
fine.
serious?
It was because I gained weight.
Death threats?
Yeah, death threats. And
I can't imagine writing someone that, you know what, you're fat.
you're fat and
kill
you
yourself.
need to die. Yeah, that's what it said. Like, you should kill yourself, and if you don't, if I see you on the street, I will.
And how would those get to you? Like through Bravo blog comments?
Yeah, things like that. Like they would have. I believe there was a blog that we contributed to some.
Yeah.
I think that there was.
Back then, everyone
little
was
things
doing
like
a blog.
that. I think there was MySpace.
You didn't really know you were signing up for that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you looked great.
Thanks. Yeah, it was interesting. I wish that my response to it was work on myself, and some of that came of it.
Well, what was
But
your
I don't want to give
response
anything
to it?
away. I don't want to give anything away because
I know. I don't know anything. I know that. Well, I know Doug passes. That's where I am now, or he's in a coma.
Yeah, that was so fucked up and random.
And you guys were okay. So here's my question for season 2. You guys were in like a fight. Did you ever make up before he passed?
I don't remember us being.
You don't remember that you had beef?
Did Doug and I have beef?
You had beef.
Did we like yell at each other?
The whole storyline in episode 2-3 of season 2 is you and Doug like are in such a beef and you can't speak. You're so mad at him because he did an interview where he referred to you as Jack from Will and Grace.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Oh, I do remember that, and I thought that was really fucked up. That's really, really funny. So, okay, I'm going to give you some dish for me. So I'm sober now.
Me too.
18 years.
My God, congrats.
I got sober after the second season of Workout.
Okay, well, I have another,
So the third season of Workout, I'm sober.
Wow.
This is my first year in sobriety. The second season, now I remember watching certain episodes and I'm like slurring my words. There was an event we went to in the first season that I blacked, and this is why I said the producers took care of me, because I blacked out. I don't remember what was said. I don't remember what I did. I do remember it was not great.
Yeah.
And good TV. It would have been great TV though, but it wasn't great for me.
Being on reality TV while trying to get sober, I've been saying this about The Valley. And do you watch Bravo anymore? Do you ever watch?
I don't.
Okay, well, there's this guy named Jax. He's on The Valley, and his life's falling apart. He had to go to rehab, but the rehab like let him use his phone. And I keep saying like being on a reality show while trying to navigate that, I think would be the hardest thing.
Well, it was also, it was a sobering thing for me seeing myself. What I saw on Workout, especially the first 2 seasons, was I was like a version of myself that I didn't like, and a version of myself that I didn't identify with.
Yeah. Well, you can get it.
I forgot to turn my phone
That's
off.
fine. I guess I can say this to you because I like that ring. When I'm looking at those first 2 seasons, everyone was so messy, Jackie included, and it was very much centered around that kind of drinking. Because I wasn't a big alcoholic, but I was like a drug person. I was like a pill popper.
Yeah.
I was everything. I would drink, but I wasn't like, I don't know, it seemed very boozy and very cokey. Those first couple of seasons seemed a lot of like that type of stuff.
That's a fair assessment. I'm not going to throw anybody under
Sure,
the bus,
sure.
but that's a fair assessment.
Well, just looking at, and like, again, I lived here during that time, and I know those spaces they were in, like that strip club, and I just know some of those places, and I know what was going down.
Yeah. Yeah, it was,
And how old were you when you shot season 1?
25, 26.
Wow.
Yeah, baby.
And were you trying to be an actor or anything? What was your goal?
Prior to, it was interesting. Like in my early 20s, yes. And I moved to New York. I did a play. I got a little write up.
Yeah.
Came back out to Los Angeles to. I was actually meeting with the WB and getting ready to test.
You're very WB.
Yeah, I was screen test for them. But I got this manager, and he just got in my head, and he just said I had to go in the closet, I had to get a girlfriend, I couldn't go to West Hollywood anymore. Like things were starting to happen for me, and if I was going to really pursue this, then I needed to. It was right before everyone started coming out of the closet,
Right.
and I just believed him.
Sure.
And something happened, like clicked in my brain, and I couldn't audition anymore. Like I'd show up and I'd try to be like straight presenting, and I just couldn't tap into, I think, what made me a really charismatic, good actor to begin with.
Yeah.
And so I went to culinary school. I loved cooking, and so I went to culinary school.
Yeah.
And literally, my last day of culinary school, a van picked me up to go to the set of Workout. And
But you were also a trainer?
I was training during that. I mean, because I was an actor, I loved working. I loved exercise.
Yeah.
I was at Barry's boot camp. That's where they found me. The producers found me.
Okay, I was going to say, how'd they find you?
I was at Barry's boot
Like
camp.
in a class, or were you?
Yeah. A friend of one of the producers came to my class and was like, "You need to meet Jesse," because she knew they were looking for like a young gay component.
Yeah.
And so I went in, and they offered me the role. Like they offered me the part like the next day.
And what did they tell you was going to be your job? Or like they were just like, we're going to document you training?
Yeah, it was all. Yeah, it was so vague, and I wasn't really. It was still new.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? The whole unscripted, the Bravo reality formula, which it doesn't really, except on Bravo, doesn't really exist many other places. I mean,
what's more
really
now?
changed.
There's like Vanderpump Rules, which is kind of like a workout.
But it's all scripted.
Descending.
It feels like it's like. I mean, I think everyone's in on it now. Like they know the formula. They know that like the producers have story arc.
Y'all didn't even have iPhones.
Yeah.
You didn't have any social media.
I remember Jackie and I had the same flip phone.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, look at us with the same Razor flip phone.
Razor phone.
It was really nice. So, anyways, okay. So, I got sober. Watching myself on season 2 is what like prompted a big part of my sobriety, getting sober. And I'm glad I did. And I won't give anything season 3 away, but I have a little bit of I'll say maybe a redemption, or at least a personal redemption arc. And season 3, I also get to work with somebody that we do sort of a transformation thing that I won't tell you too much about, but it felt real to me, and like I really committed myself to the experience, and it paid off. I had listen, Workout, as challenging as that format is to participate in, it opened a lot of doors for me. Yeah, I had like solid 10 years where I was working in television solid. You know, like I went from the Bravo to the Food Network, and then from the Food Network to the Oprah Winfrey Network. And I did a lot of stuff in the media. I did a lot of stuff for online platforms and magazines, and had a really great career in that lifestyle.
Do you miss
field. Not really. I'm good at it.
Yeah,
but
you are good at it.
I don't know if I would say I miss it.
Yeah.
I know that I can go in front of the camera and knock it out of the park every time. I can do what they need. I always know what they need, and I'm willing to do that. I wouldn't behave poorly anymore. And I think the trajectory of my television career progressively got nicer. Like the Food Network was a little stressful because they would put us in, it was called Private Chefs of Beverly Hills, and they'd put us in these really intense event situations. I'm a chef, so as a chef, and I would have to navigate these so it was stressful.
Right.
Then the Oprah Winfrey thing was, we went and we were helping families that really deserved it, and I would I would like get to participate in that.
Did you feel pressure to cause a ruckus or to stir up drama or anything like that?
I think we all wanted as much screen time as possible because we were all ambitious and we all wanted to utilize and maximize the opportunity.
You were right.
And so we knew that the more screen time meant more opportunity to get, spokesperson work or to get, endorsement work.
I was noticing that Rebecca was in episodes 1 and 2 of season 1, and she kind of disappeared till the end. And then in season 2, my theory is that she was like, "Oh, I'll just date Jackie, and then I'll be on the show more." Because like she's a huge part of it.
That was a big beef for me.
I know. I just watched it.
I'll say this about Jackie Warner, one of the smartest, funniest.
Yes.
Most dynamic people I've ever met in my life. Hilarious. Her and I clicked instantly.
Yeah.
And we made each other laugh. And that was sort of the narrative of our relationship. And it got a little sour. I don't know if it's soured, but I feel like we just didn't need each other.
Right.
After a while.
So how was it a beef? I mean, don't worry about spoiling it. I'm going to watch it anyway. So like, when you saw that happening with Rebecca, why was that a beef?
Because Rebecca wasn't gay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How does that work? I mean, I think
and I'll say this about Rebecca. She's a very smart businesswoman.
Yeah. I get
And
that
Jackie's
sense.
a very smart businesswoman.
Yeah.
And they knew they're not stupid.
Right.
Was it authentic? It's not for me to say, but it didn't. I know Rebecca, and I knew Rebecca like socially and stuff like that. I'm like, you're not. There's none of that happening.
Right. I get that feeling.
And so it felt offensive as a gay person.
Right.
To be like, oh, don't use that card. But you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe there was a genuine connection and feeling there. But to me, it felt like, I mean, but listen, it was, and maybe I was jealous in the sense of that was a card that she played that I didn't have access to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, I mean, I was like you said, you're sober. The last years I was wildly insecure.
Yeah.
I was very ambitious.
Yeah.
I didn't have the maturity or the self-esteem. If I had maturity and self-esteem, I wouldn't have been on the show in the first place.
Right.
Is the truth of it. Because it's not like the healthier you get, the less interesting you become to watch.
Right. I was just talking about this. I feel like when I wasn't sober, I was more entertaining. Mm-hmm. Like I was doing the radio show like fucked up. Mm-hmm. And there were certain things that were funny, and like people bring stuff back up and they'll say something was so funny, it just makes me cringe. Like I would never, not even, because it honestly wasn't fun. Things aren't as funny as you think they are. Yeah. But wait, when you got sober, that first year of sobriety is always so like you're getting to know yourself, and yet you were on camera. And we can talk again when I get to season 3. But like, what was that? Did you keep it a secret? Did you tell everybody?
No, I told people. I think that's sort of probably one of the reasons why. I'm not going to say that.
Oh my God.
Well,
I know someone else
It
does.
might have been one of the reasons why, Jackie was very supportive, but she had fun. She was, she enjoyed having a good time, and I couldn't participate in all of that.
Your connection in season 1 is really sweet. It's really, you can tell that there's like genuine love.
There is, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that continued too. I think we just enjoyed each other. In fact, I had a podcast a few years ago.
Yeah.
And Jackie came on.
She told me.
Yeah, and it was lovely. It was like so nice to connect with her.
I loved talking to her. I thought she was great, and
because she's so smart and funny and engaging and great. In 2010, I launched a spiritual center for LGBTQ people.
What?
That was sort of what got me out of doing television is I just felt like everyone was unhappy.
Yeah.
Everyone was like always stressed. So after workout, I got deep into this was a result of my sobriety. I got deep into meditation.
Yeah.
Really had a lot of questions. Became a real spiritual seeker. I found a mentor who at Agape, which was this.
I've been to Agape
spiritual center. She was a reverend at Agape. And she really took me under her wing. And mentored me. I was like her apprentice. And together we launched a spiritual community that met out of gay bars. Remember, it was East West Lounge first. We started there on Sundays, and we had literally a spiritual gathering every Sunday there. East West closed down. We went to Here Lounge, and then we grew into our own center. But it became this big thing.
What happened to it?
It's still happening today. I stepped away from being spiritual director after 10 years.
Oh my God.
But for 10 years, I literally was a spiritual teacher. We did meditation retreats. We developed a training program for mindful leadership. And
I love this.
Mindful
I did not know
activism.
any of this. I had no idea. I had no idea what to expect. I'm so happy to hear it.
Yeah. So I did a documentary. I'm featured as a teacher in this documentary about mindfulness, and I talk a lot about mindful grieving.
Yeah.
My husband and I lost a son. Our first son passed away.
When was this? I'm
It
so
was
sorry.
about 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was unexpected and awful. He had an undiagnosed heart condition, and we just thought he had a stomach flu, and he just wasn't getting better. So I brought him to the hospital, and within 2 hours, he pretty much died in my arms. And
God.
yeah, it was awful. And
It's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
it was awful, but it was really interesting though, because I learned something really valuable, and it's such a gift of being queer. And I just remember, like, I was leaving the hospital, and my sister took something out of my hand, and I looked down, and it was his car seat. It was an empty car seat, and she's like, "I'm just going to take that." And Chris and I, my husband, we sat down, and we were outside of the hospital, and I was like, I can't go home because it just happened in a day. It happened so fast. And he goes, I hear that. He goes, I think though we should do the opposite. I think we should call everybody and have everyone meet us at home. And
So good.
within an hour,
Yeah.
it was packed full of people. And we just, and this is like, these are like, my trans brothers and sisters were there, lesbian, gay, all these people, and it was everyone was queer.
Your community.
And allies. And and it was packed, and we just cried together, we laughed together, we prayed, we did all of these things. And I was like, and I'm like, this is such a gift of being gay, is like being able to create and nurture your chosen family. And, my friend told me this really great, she's this teacher, and she said, our relationships are our most valuable currency, most valuable form of currency. And I believe that. I really believe that, because if you have good community, you'll never go hungry. You'll always have a place to lay your head.
That's right.
And so that's why, I love being gay so much. I love being queer. I love that I got to be a little part of queer history, being on Workout, because it was the first reality show with a lesbian as a central character.
Yes. And one of the only ones. There's not been a ton more.
I know. And the perfect person to do it too. And she really was the perfect person to lead that ship.
She's such a star.
She is. She's a force of nature. And, so many things come along with that. And, I do want to say that my husband and I, we were able to continue to grow our family. We have 2 beautiful boys now. And, and so I just wanted to say that, because that is a sad story. But I like to share the story because a lot of people don't equate things like that with gay families. And that I feel like I want to share it because I want to normalize life experiences so people understand that people move through that. And it's a beautiful thing. And you know what? I will say this, that he was 8 months when he passed away, but he had a perfect life because he had 8 months of just love.
Oh my
just
God.
love, And and I think that's a really beautiful thing to be able to have that. And
I was just talking about this today. We don't communicate well about this in our society.
It just happened overnight. And how foster to adopt works is you get a call, and 3 hours later, there's an infant in your house.
Oh my God.
And that's
my
happened.
nightmare.
That's what happened. Yeah, that's what
my
happened.
ultimate nightmare.
And in our scenario, they were brothers, and so our sons are biological brothers, and the older one was not even 2 years old. So we had 2 babies in our house overnight, and then that was it for 3 years.
Did you always want to be a parent?
I did, yeah. And I don't know why I had that instinct initially, and I explore that sometimes. I mean,
some of us do, some of us don't. I wish I did.
Yeah, no, listen, I understand people who choose not to have kids and feel so free. I can completely understand how freeing that must feel.
But I wish I had, like, I look at Andy and his kids, and I see that my friend is having an experience as a human being on earth that I will never understand. And I have to just celebrate that for him.
Yeah.
But it's like, witnessing it doesn't make me want it.
Yeah,
you know what I
no,
mean? Like, I
absolutely.
truly think I'm good.
Especially if you get like a real close look at it, then you're like, oh yeah, God,
yeah.
no, yeah, no.
I also wonder about, like, I would adopt if I ever had a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think I have great mental health in my genetics. I think it would be crazy. I think, like, I'm doing fine, but like, oof.
Yeah, tough. I mean, but you just never know, man.
Yeah.
You really just never know. Like, I mean, I do believe that love is the great healer. And I feel like love can overcome so much, and compassion and patience can overcome so much. And I've seen it. Seen that work. And I think there's no right answer. There just is, you know? And I think that what you choose is the right choice, because what else could it be? It's the choice you made.
I think you need to start your podcast back up.
Oh God, please. I mean, I don't have time for any of that stuff.
You can just talk and upload. I think people need to hear from you.
Oh, that's sweet. I got to a place with it because it is like being on TV, doing this, there is an addictive component to it. I got off social media last year.
People really are addicted.
Yeah, I was like, I had like 20,000 followers. Why did I? It was so stupid. And
it's good that you're off. Stay off.
but it is good. You find other things like I'll scroll like New York Times or CNN like it's social media. So now I'm getting off that too, because it's no bueno as well. That will just make you.
Well, it's all a dopamine thing.
It is.
It's like trying to get you to just stay on the phone and buy shit.
Yeah, but I will say, like, that's sort of what being on TV is. When I was younger, they didn't pay anything.
Yeah.
Like there was no money in it.
Yeah.
But I got validated because I was on TV.
Right.
And that was something that was like my lifeline, because it made me feel meaningful, like I had meaning and purpose.
We see these people that do reality shows, and then they panic. It's almost like, that can't be it. I have to stay in the mix. And so they start doing the most insane shit. They start looking crazy.
Yeah.
They start acting crazy. I can't believe you're like a saint.
No, God, Jesus, no, don't do that. Not at all. It's hard. Being a parent is really hard.
How old are your kids now?
7 and 9. Yeah, 7 and 9.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I could never be a parent except to you.
Yeah, we have a little puppy too, which has been crazy as well. My husband really wanted me to do this because I didn't know what the fuck this was.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did.
And he goes, do it. He goes, because you get to go. He goes, you've never got to like talk about your perspective of it.
Yeah.
With perspective. Like you never got to share like your thoughts on it from a space of perspective.
Oh my
and
God. I'm so happy to hear all of this.
Yeah.
And like, people are listening to. So many people love the show.
That's so great.
Yeah, I'm hearing.
What, love workout or love the
They love both. I mean, they love, but a lot of people say they're watching this because they love workout so much.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's really great and good. I mean, yeah, it was like such. I mean, it was a lifetime ago. It was almost 20 years ago.
I know.
20 years ago.
I know. I have so many questions for you, but I don't. They're so dumb.
No, ask questions.
They're so dumb. That's like, no. You already also answered everything. Hold on. So you and Doug were in a good place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, Doug and I made peace.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, I think we made peace for sure. I do. Yeah. I completely forgot about that, because all I have memories of Doug is lovely memories, because he was a lovely man.
He's lovely.
And I think what it was is we went out, we made out in a bathroom stall.
You did?
And yeah, it was season 2. Like we got tipsy, we made out in a bathroom stall, and after that we're like, we're all good, right?
He's so hot.
Yeah, he was. I mean, at that time, I was a youngin'.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like an older man.
Yeah.
You know,
A
so
daddy.
I look back now and be like, oh my God, he was a really beautiful guy.
Yeah.
But also he was ripped.
Yeah.
He was fucking ripped.
I know.
I never got like, how do people get that ripped? And I didn't realize, there's like ways that people get that ripped.
Right.
And I didn't.
Especially a trainer, like they're all in the know of that.
Of all of that stuff. And I wasn't in the know of all of that stuff. And so I thought there was like, so I think I resented that a little bit too.
Yeah. Did your family watch you on workout? What did
Yeah,
they
for
think?
sure.
Where are you from?
I'm from Seattle
Oh,
initially.
really?
Yeah.
I love Seattle.
Yeah, I love Seattle too. I'd move back in a New York minute.
Yeah.
Go
When
ahead.
did you realize that people were really watching it?
I started getting recognized everywhere.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Especially, I mean, out here you were a big star.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I will say like it was, when I came out when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and this was in the 90s, I was the only out person in my school.
Yeah.
It was lesbians. It was a group of my theater teachers, like posse, took me under their wings, and they were a bunch of dykes in Seattle.
Oh, heaven.
And heaven, and they really took care of me. And so I always loved lesbians and
Yeah.
the lesbian community. I always,
Me too.
I never knew that there was like a divide. I just thought we were all, like
There isn't unless you're in like a toxic, cunty area like LA.
yeah, it is really there. It is rather divided in LA.
Gay guys
You
who
can't do
don't
that.
have lesbian friends, I don't trust. I think it's a really bad red flag. I love that your story continues on to be
Yeah.
that. It's like, other people, I mean, you have such a great success story.
I love people.
I
And
want you to
just
win an
do-
award for something. I want you to get like the key to the city or
My
something.
husband and we did win an award. In 2019, we were awarded Foster Family of the Year in LA for Los Angeles
My
through Raise a
God.
Child organization. It was really lovely.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, that was a really special thing. And what was so funny is we couldn't really appreciate it because we were so exhausted at the time.
Sure.
And I was like, we're just, all we did was take the next indicated step to create the life we wanted to do. We didn't do it we didn't even know this was a thing. And we feel weird being like awarded best foster family because all we did is like, we just roll with the punches, And
What did your husband do?
he's a writer and waits tables on the side. And he actually created this great program a few years ago where he went into Men's Central Jail and he taught the inmates how to create autobiographical stories to write and then perform out loud as a way to heal any shame around their story. And he did it on the gay floor of Men's Central Jail. Did you know there was a gay floor in Men's Central Jail?
No, I don't know
The
any
ninth
of this.
floor is a gay floor.
I'm just blown away that you guys. I feel like I've done nothing for the world.
Oh, stop. Listen, anytime being a gay man with a platform is doing something for the world.
True.
Being visible,
True.
being able to speak eloquently. We need more of it because I don't know, some people say that's what like shot that sort of liberal movement in the foot, but I disagree. I think that the most horrific and destructive force in the fucking world is repression. And I think that the LGBTQ community is the opposite of that. In fact, we've embraced expression. And so people that are trying to fit themselves in this unrealistic moral structure that has been cast upon them by religion or whatever the fuck, are so resentful. They have to try to tear us down because we are the living, breathing symbol of freedom.
Yeah.
And what's even more free than being like, I am not this gender that I was born with. I am something so much more than that. And so, of course, trans
that's
people are the new
threatening.
fucking target.
It's a threat. I can't believe I'm your gay elder, but you have done more for the gay community than anybody.
You want to know this really? Okay, I'm not bragging. I just haven't been able to talk about any of this for so long.
Brag.
So we developed this program. It was one of the most special things we did in this organization called Ask the Elders. And it was like quarterly. We would rent out a hall and we would get a panel of LGBTQ elders.
This is so smart.
And literally all that we did, and there was gay, trans, lesbian, queer, bi, and these are people that are 65 or older, and literally people in the adults and that would come, and it would always be a big, huge thing. Just ask life questions. Be
Right.
Like
Do this again.
My best friend is a drug addict. I don't know what to do. And like someone on that panel knew how to
gonna
work
have an
with.
answer.
They're gonna exactly know what to do. Or like my lover's dying and I can't cope, and someone there's gonna tell you what to do and how to do it. It's just harnessing the wisdom of those that go before you is so fucking valuable. And what was really interesting is they said that gay adults are so fucking distracted that the elders are mentoring the youth, and that is the opposite. That cannot be happening. Elders should be mentoring the adults, and the adults should be mentoring the youth.
That's such a great idea. I think you should do it again.
Yeah, I mean, here's the
You don't sound busy at all.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal I have with the universe is if I'm asked, like you asked me, if I'm asked, I'll go. And like the universe knows my schedule, knows how busy I am, knows whatever, So if I'm asked to, like every once in a while I get asked to go speak at a spiritual center or to be, on a panel or something.
I'm telling you, it's your calling.
Thank you. We have to harness the wisdom from our past so we can share it. So other people don't have to make the mistakes that we did, that they get to so they can evolve even faster. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then they'll have their whole new, group of whatever they have to figure out. But
I feel so stupid asking you questions about workout. You have all this wisdom.
But it's great.
Well, that's where it all started, I guess.
Yeah, workout. I mean, listen, workout for me, I'll say this. Workout for me, I hit my bottom in workout. I hit my rock bottom in workout.
I mean, I get why.
Yeah, but think about it. It was something that was completely focused on the physical.
Yeah.
And on the glamour of Los
Vanity.
Angeles. So like wealth and looks and all of that. Mm-hmm. And I saw what it was doing to people. I felt what it was doing to me. Yeah. And again, the third season, I get this really special opportunity to work with somebody. We have this,
and it's not Jodie Watley.
It's not Jodie Watley. In the third season, oh my God, I think you're going to see at the end of the second season. So at the end of the second season, okay, they filmed all of this stuff with my best friend that I grew up with and I. And what happened was she was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh no!
And I actually go to her treatments with her in Arizona, and it's just very real. Two young people in their 20s. One coming to the terms with the fact that she has cancer, and beautiful young woman has cancer, and me like working through the fact that it just doesn't seem real that someone my age should be going through this at that time.
Did you ever have hesitation putting that out?
I talked to her about it because they wanted real things that were happening in our lives. Yeah. They did want that. And so I did share this is what was happening. Yeah. So,
but you guys were brave is what I'm saying. You guys really showed a lot of vulnerability and authenticity. You talk about so many things.
Yeah. It was, I was always impressed to see how much people got out of it.
Yeah.
Cause I would hear from people in the Midwest, places, people that did not have the opportunities you have in Los Angeles. And as far as freedom of expression goes, and how much it meant to them, and how just being gay and okay with being gay. I love that I had that really shitty experience with that manager that told me I had to go in the closet. But when I came out and I was like, no, I'm just going to be myself, I got immediately on television.
Yeah.
And I was like, that says something. It says something about how interesting authenticity is.
Totally.
And the power of transparency. And how when you are willing... those moments with Jackie and her mom were so special because they were willing to be authentic, and people got to actually see that because so often you're putting on the front of what you think people want to see on TV or the version of yourself that you think you need to be.
Wow, I could talk to you all day.
So I'll tell you how I got Andy Cohen super
Tell
wasted.
me. Where were you?
I was in New York.
Okay.
I was doing... a press. Oh, so this is how popular workout was, by the way. Listen to this. This is a great how popular workout was story. I went to go see Spring Awakening, the original cast of Spring Awakening.
So 2004-ish, 5-ish?
No. This is 2007.
7, okay.
2006, 2007.
Okay. Oh, yeah, workout was already
on. It had been on for a couple years.
So this is season 1 workout?
This is after, I think this is right after season 2. Or during season 2. And I don't think I had great seats. I had okay seats, and sitting there. And during it, what was it? Like Leia Michelle kept like giving me, like looking at me. And I was like, here's what I was like looking behind me like, well, you must be sitting by like her family or something. That's exciting. And curtain call comes and the girls come out and they bow and they look at me. They go, I love you. We love you.
Oh my God.
And again, I was like, it's lovely. Oh, that's nice. And then the stage manager comes up to me and said, the cast would love to meet you.
Oh my God.
And I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
And yeah, they all came up. They're like, oh my God, we love Workout so much. We love the show so much. Jonathan Groff gave me the eyes. And I was like, oh, that's fun. If I wasn't with my manager at the time, I'd be following that puppy
hot.
right out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like I was amazed at that. I was like, how are these people aware of who I am and excited to meet me? And there was another celebrity there that night too. And I remember they ran right past him to meet me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. That was crazy.
I love it.
But so I was in New York for some reason, and Andy and I went out, and I got Andy so drunk.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I mean, I'm talking like shots of like Jaeger bomb shots. Yeah, like
where'd
drunk,
you go?
drunk. I don't remember.
Splash?
I think we probably went to therapy.
Oh my God.
Back in the day,
Therapy.
something like that. And what was funny now, I look back at these moments and I'm like, I wonder if Andy met up with me, like to see if I was like potential like to date, you know?
Probably.
And but my self-esteem was so like not there at the time that if it were, I wouldn't have been able to grasp that. And I'm like, God, talk about, there were some missed opportunities in my youth. I'm like, you should have pulled it together a little bit more.
Doors. Wow.
He did introduce me to one of his friends, and we dated shortly, but I actually started working with him.
Who?
Robbie Bates.
I know Robbie.
Love, like, let me
So
tell you something. The
talented.
love I have for Robbie Bates, yeah, like in my heart.
So
in my heart.
talented.
But we,
Playwright of a generation.
yes, I mean, just get out of here. Other desert cities. Have you
Yeah.
seen? Oh my God. One fun story with Robbie Bates that he told me that we were going to go have dinner with a friend. I was like, okay. So we just go out to like we're out, and Sarah Jessica Parker comes to the table, and I'm like, okay, you could have given me a little heads up that you were going to drop an SJP bomb on me, and she couldn't have been.
She's the
I remember
greatest.
my ex was her makeup artist, and he said, you know, a real star. And he goes, and Sarah Jessica Parker is the embodiment of this. He goes, a real star makes you think you're the star.
Totally.
And that is 100% what she was so interested in me. She leaned into everything I said. And I was like, you're doing it. You're doing that star thing that Jake said. And it was completely effective. Like, couldn't it be more charming?
Jonathan Groff is like that too. The
bet he
one
seemed like he
night
would be
the one night we hung out was at the Tonys one year. And by the end of the night, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get married. We're gonna get married. He's in love with me."
Mm-hmm.
But every single person has that experience with him. Meets him.
That he's just like, they just make you feel special.
You have that,
And-
I feel special.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
You should feel special. You are
Thank you.
special.
I cannot believe this was the story I got. I thought you were gonna say, yeah, I kind of miss reality TV, and I love cooking. I didn't know anything about your family. I didn't know anything about your spiritual growth. I didn't know you were sober. This is like, I'm so happy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't miss reality TV. in
I'm
that
sure you
capacity.
don't.
Yeah,
That
no.
would. Yeah, I'm so.
I don't
glad
even
you
think
don't.
it exists anymore, does it? I mean, what I would do, like, if I were to do something, it would be probably, cooking or like kind of talk showy, like I like a format like this where I could just sit and talk to people about life.
There's documentary.
But you kind of just got to make it yourself now, right? Like you just do it on your YouTube or you do what you do. You create a podcast, but then you have to market the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I think I just got to the point where I did a lot of that stuff and I just couldn't do that anymore. It was like too much work.
Yeah, I do what I love to do. Like, I hated producing TV, and I had to stop. It was like too toxic. I was a performer before, and I thought I should get a real job. And that producing TV, I had written a treatment for a show that sold.
Oh, good.
And so I started doing that. And like 8, 9, 10 years in, I was like, I hate it so. And I don't just dislike it. Like I hate it. Uh-huh. And so after the pandemic, when I got sober in 2021. I was like, I'm only going to do things that I feel like I'm called to do. Mm-hmm. So here we are.
I love it. Good for you. I'm so glad that you did it. I'm so glad you invited me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Will you please come back selfishly?
Yeah.
Just come back at the like maybe when I'm finished, like finish the whole series.
Sure. Like if you want to have if you want to have, I'll tell you this. I won't tell you why.
Okay.
If you ever want to have a talk about Natalie,
Okay.
let me know.
And I don't know who that is yet.
And well, I'll tell you the whole thing because it is really beautiful.
I know that someone else dies though. I don't know who it is. I know Doug passes, but then like 3 people have been like, oh, and someone else from workout dies. I'm like dreading.
Yes.
Don't tell me.
Oh my God. Yes.
Don't tell me.
Yes, but I don't know. I don't think he died. I don't think they died on the show.
Right. I think later they said, yeah.
Was,
oh my God. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was fucked up. That was really fucked up. But yeah, that's another.
Okay, so you'll come back. We'll talk about Natalie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy. I would love to come back and talk about Natalie.
Please.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course. My pleasure.
Wow. Wow. Is this real? Are you putting on an act or are you really this great? So are you... my drink fell over. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate Jesse taking the time to sit down with me. I hope you learned a lot just like I did. Thank you to everybody who's been sharing the show. I finally reached the last little criteria I needed to be able to monetize on YouTube. And with that, I can safely now announce that I have made a rousing $17 from this entire podcast. 2 months and 13 hours of entertainment for you. And now, she's rich. Thanks for watching. Support me on the Patreon. Share the show. Comment, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah.